Woohoo! We are up to one of the most exciting parts of building deep learning models, and that is predicting on custom data. In our case, a custom image of a photo of my dad eating pizza. So of course, we're training a computer vision model on here on pizza, steak, and sushi. So hopefully the ideal result for our model to predict on this image will be pizza. So let's keep going. Let's figure out how we can get our image, our custom image, our singular image into tensor form. Loading in a custom image with PyTorch, creating another section here. So I'm just going to write down here, we have to make sure our custom image is in the same format as the data our model was trained on. So namely, that was in tensor form with data type torch float32 and then of shape 64 by 64 by 3. So we might need to change the shape of our image, and then we need to make sure that it's on the right device. Command MM, beautiful. So let's see what this looks like, hey? So if I'm going to import Torch Vision, now the package you use to load your data will depend on the domain you're in. So let's open up the Torch Vision documentation. We can go to models, that's okay. So if we're working with text, you might want to look in here for some input and output functions, so some loading functions. Torch Audio, same thing. Torch Vision is what we're working with. Let's click into Torch Vision. Now we want to look into reading and writing images and videos because we want to read in an image, right? We've got a custom image, we want to read it in. So this is part of your extracurricular, by the way, to go through these for at least 10 minutes each. So spend an hour if you're going through Torch Vision. You could do the same across these other ones. It will just really help you familiarize yourself with all the functions of PyTorch domain libraries. So we want to look, here's some options for video. We're not working with video. Here's some options for images. Now, what do we want to do? We want to read in an image. So we've got a few things here. Decode image. Oh, I've skipped over one. We can write a JPEG if we wanted to. We can encode a PNG. Let's jump into this one. Read image. What does it do? Reads a JPEG or PNG into a three-dimensional RGB or grayscale tensor. That is what we want. And then optionally converts the image to the desired format. The values of the output tensor are uint8. Okay, beautiful. So let's see what this looks like, eh? Mode, the read mode used optionally for converting the image. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to copy this in. So I'll write this down. We can read an image into PyTorch using, we'll go with that. So let's see what this looks like in practice. Read in custom image. I can't explain to you how much I love using deep learning models to predict on custom data. So custom image, we're going to call it uint8 because as we read from the documentation here, it reads it in uint8 format. So let's have a look at what that looks like rather than just talking about it. Torchvision.io, read image. What's our target image path? Well, we've got custom image path up here. This is why I like to do things programmatically. So if our Colab notebook reset, we could just run this cell again, get our custom image, and then we've got it here. So custom image uint8. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, what did we get wrong? Unable to cast Python instance. Oh, does it need to be a string? Expected a value type of string. Oh, but found POSIX path. So the path needs to be a string. Okay. If we have a look at our custom image path, what did we get wrong? Oh, we've got a POSIX path. So let's convert this custom image path into a string and see what happens. Look at that. That's our image in integer form. I wonder if this is plottable. Let's go plt.imshow custom image uint8. Maybe we get a dimensionality problem here. Invalid shape. Okay, let's permute it. Permute, and we'll go 1, 2, 0. Is this going to plot? It's a fairly big image. There we go, 2 thumbs up. Look at us. So that is the power of torchvision.io. IO stands for input output. We were just able to read in our custom image. Now, how about we get some metadata about this? Let's go, we'll print it up here actually. I'll keep that there because that's fun to plot it. Let's find the shape of our data, the data type, and yeah, we've got it in tensor format, but it's uint8 right now. So we might have to convert that to float32. We want to find out its shape, and we need to make sure that if we're predicting on a custom image, the data that we're predicting on, the custom image, needs to be on the same device as our model. So let's print out some info. Print, let's go custom image tensor, and this is going to be a new line, and then we will go custom image uint8. Wonderful. And then let's go custom image shape. We will get the shape parameter, custom image shape, or attribute, sorry. And then we also want to know the data type, custom image data type, but we have a kind of an inkling because the documentation said it would be uint8, uint8, and we'll go dtype. Let's have a look. What do we have? So there's our image tensor, and it's quite a big image, so custom image shape. So what was our model trained on? Our model was trained on images of 64 by 64. So this image encodes a lot more information than what our model was trained on. So we're going to have to change that shape to pass it through our model. And then we've got an image data type here, or tensor data type of torch uint8. So maybe that's going to be some errors for us later on. So if you want to go ahead and see if you can resize this tensor to 6464 using a torch transform or torch vision transform, I'd encourage you to try that out. And if you know how to change a torch tensor from uint8 to torch float32, give that a shot as well. So let's try and make a prediction on our image in the next video. I'll see you there.